I tried to go back to being in the ROTC. I was medically discharged from the military, so I didn't go back to my army setting, but then I also tried to get back into the same classes that I was about to continue in my junior year, because I basically didn't miss any classes because I was basically at the end of my sophomore year when I had the accident. So I just was like a semester behind, trying to jump back into those same classes that I was scheduled to take in the semester, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't focus. I could not follow the lectures. I could not understand the material. And this is all the things that my neuropsychologist told my mother that would happen to me, and that she tried to tell me, but I wouldn't listen. I was emotionally unstable. I had anger management. I had anger problems. I was still angry, and didn't really realize it. Thought I was okay because I had gotten so much better physically. So when I came back home and just sat back for a couple of months and had a chance to at least sit back and think, okay, you can no longer do this. What can you do? So I went back to school and I started slow. I just took just basic, actually remedial classes, just to get me just to get me going back to school again, getting used to going back to school again. Taking a class here or there, remedial reading, remedial math, remedial vocabulary, one speech class. And then as I was learning to learn how to study, I was taking study skills classes, things that I thought I never had to take because I had moved beyond those things. And basically it was also a hit to my ego as well. Because I never considered myself a lower level student. I was always a high achieving student. But I started back slow. I started to seek out some resources, not many, but at least I went to the Department of Disabilities for my school and, saw how I could integrate into the school that way. After about being in school for a year, I was able, instead of taking one class here or there, I was able to maybe take 2 or 3. And at the same time, I was exploring different options because I know I did not want to go back. I couldn't go back into the military. I no longer wanted to be a business major, which was my major on the side besides military science. So I looked at other options that was at the school near my home. It was a commuter school, so I didn't have to stay on campus. I could stay at home and commute to school. And so that was very helpful because I had the supervision of my mother. And I decided, then I looked at all the options, and then I looked into occupational therapy because I knew about the field, because I had it. I went to speak to some former occupational therapists that were part of my care. And I spoke to my neurologist, who actually advised me against it. But I did speak to him, and I decided that I would just take a few classes at a while until I could build up. And so that's what basically led me, and then I continued to study hard and take more classes until I was taking a full caseload. And I got accepted into the occupational therapy program at the school and gone from there. Both of the 2 years that I had completed before the injury, it took me 6.5 years to finish. Because I basically, when I came back, I had to start all over again. So, starting from remedial classes and just taking 1 or 2 classes a year. But because I had already had 2 years and a lot of my prerequisites, the general English, math, was already taken and I had already passed those classes, those credits transferred. So besides the fact that I had switched majors from a business major to a science major and I had more classes related to occupational therapy to take, I didn't have to take any other prerequisites. And the other things that I took was for my own edification, to build up my reading skill or to build up my math skill.